going on? Welcome in. So look, in this one, episode 3 of the coaching profile series, we're going to be taking a look at Brian Daboll, current offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. Okay, 45 years old. This dude is definitely a veteran football mind. He's been around for a long time. He's been on a bunch of different teams, including the college ranks, Alabama. So Daboll does a myriad of different things so well, just so incredibly well. It's astonishing. It's funny, you talk to Buffalo Bills fans, and you can tell, you can hear it in their voice. They don't want Daboll to leave. They do not want him leaving the building, accepting a head coaching position, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Houston, or even the in-division rival, the New York Jets. Okay, the Buffalo Bills offense has been going in the right direction for the last couple of seasons, but this year specifically, it's taken that giant leap and become elite. Okay, they are elite. They are a top 3 offense in the league. It's no joke. Absolutely no joke. Okay, so really, the number one thing that stands out to me personally when I'm looking at Daboll, what I think makes him so attractive as a coaching candidate, it's one word: development. Okay, what stands out to me personally is the word development. And yeah, people are going to reference Josh Allen. Yeah, this dude took a massive step forward. He's completing a lot of passes. You know, the Bills' offense is rolling this season. This is an offense that strikes fear in opposing defenses, okay? People are saying Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I would argue top 3, okay? But when I say the word development, Josh Allen is just a small piece of the puzzle. When I say development, I'm talking about literally every single player on the Buffalo Bills offense. Free agent acquisitions, Mitch Morse, Cole Beasley, John Brown, all playing better than they once were. Draft picks, doesn't matter if they're a first round pick like Josh Allen. It doesn't matter if they're a mid to late round pick like Gabriel Davis, like Zach Moss, like who else? Devin Singletary. Okay, Deion Dawkins is playing really, really well. Every single player on the Buffalo Bills offense has gotten so much better. There's not one weak spot. There's not one weak spot of the Bills offense. Every single player on this offense has been developed. I don't want to say they've all reached their ceiling or they've fully maximized their potential here, but they're all going in the right direction. They're all contributing. It does not matter if you're a random 4th round pick. If you're if you're an offensive player getting picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, chances are you're going to contribute for the Buffalo Bills. And it's so much fun to watch, right? That's what has Jets fans clamoring about Brian Daboll. That's what makes Daboll so attractive, okay? If Daboll winds up in Florham Park, I'm going to say there's a really high chance, there's a really good chance that all of these young players on the team, the Mekhi Bectons of the world, the LaMichael Pirines, the young offensive line, the Denzel Mims, these guys are going to start taking steps in the right direction to become the best version of themselves, to really maximize these guys' talents. And as it pertains to the quarterback position, okay, if I was running the team personally, I'm starting fresh. I'm firing Gase, I'm hiring a new head coach, I'm trading Sam Darnold, and I'm drafting a new one, okay? Preferably a Zach Wilson out of BYU or Justin Fields out of Ohio State. And we'll see how, the draft process continues to play out over the course of these next few months. But here's the beauty of it. Okay, this is the point. This is the point with Brian Daboll. It doesn't matter if it's Zach Wilson. It doesn't matter if it's Justin Fields. It doesn't matter if it's Trey Lance. It doesn't matter if it's Sam Darnold. It doesn't matter if it's Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston. You would have full confidence in Brian Daboll to not only just maximize the talents of these individuals, but to take these players and put them in the best position to have success. And that is absolutely huge. That's huge for a head coaching position. It's huge for a head coaching candidate walking in the building. So moving on, the approach and the game planning is top tier. Okay, you're taking a look at where the Bills are at this season. Yes, they've clinched the AFC East. Yes, they're going to the playoffs. Yes, they're on the verge of breaking records. And I mean, this team, I think as we stand right now, they have 3 losses. One of those losses I don't even count because it's just some fluke Hail Mary thing. End of the game, whatever, just some mishap. I'm not putting that on the Bills. I'm not putting that on McDermott, Allen, Daboll. I'm not doing that, okay? Buffalo is one of, they're a threat for the Super Bowl this season, and that simply does not happen. That does not come true if your team practices like crap. That does not happen if you don't know what you're doing throughout the course of the week. Okay, look at Adam Gase, for example. All right, we go into these games. We always have these, a solid drive in the first drive, maybe the second drive, maybe get out to a 3-0 lead, a 7-0 lead, and then it's downhill from there. Look at Chip Kelly. Same deal. Back when he was with the Eagles, back when he was more specifically with the 49ers, jumps out, 7-0 lead, 14-0 lead, then they lose 35-14. It's yes, you can script plays. Anybody can script plays and have, a rhythmic offense in the first 2 drives or the first quarter of a football game. But what happens when the second quarter hits? What happens when the third quarter hits? What happens when things don't go your way? You need to have some sort of plan of attack. You need to have some sort of adjustment, some sort of insurance policy that you can implement, okay? And that comes from having a great approach to the game of football and a great idea of how to game plan for your opponents, right? Knowing what they're good at, knowing what they're bad at, knowing what they might do, knowing what they might not do. Okay, so Brian Daboll has done an extremely good job of game planning for these opponents by putting the Buffalo Bills offense in the best position to have success, and it's really just a treat to watch. So next up, he's been around the league for a long time, right? He's 45 years old, but he's bounced around. He's been with the Browns. He's been with the Jets, actually, quarterbacks coach way back in the day. Dolphins, Chiefs, Patriots, Alabama Crimson Tide, okay? He's been around the block. He's seen his fair share of football. I personally feel like he's ready to ascend through the ranks. I think he's ready to, travel up the totem pole and become a head coach. And I think the New York Jets should definitely give him an opportunity this offseason to at least interview for this head coaching opening. I think he would be a massive improvement over Adam Gase. But I do just have a couple of minor concerns moving forward, like all these coaching candidates. I want the New York Jets to do their due diligence on these guys. I don't want us to just get completely starstruck when these candidates walk in the building. We need to be realistic, and we need to understand that, yeah, these guys aren't absolutely perfect. There might be a red flag here, there might be a negative there might be a concern moving forward. So I think a couple of the things that have been on my mind when I'm looking at Brian Daboll. Number one, how much of a defensive input does he have? And this is the same concern I have with Joe Brady. Whenever you're looking at a guy that completely controls the offense, right? He's calling the plays, he's designing these plays, he's installing the offense throughout the week, he's developing a quarterback as well. And your head coach is a defensive-minded guy, Sean McDermott, coming over from Carolina, a really well-respected guy. Players love him. And then you're looking at the defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, again, an ex-head coach, former Minnesota Viking. That's a veteran defensive staff. They've seen their fair share of football. They know how to go about doing things, calling plays, adjusting on the fly as far as defensive football is concerned. Okay, so when you're flipping it and you're looking at Brian Daboll now, if he's walking in the building as head coach, what's going to happen on the defensive side of the football? Are we going to have to go out and overpay for a big-time defensive coordinator, just like we saw with Adam Gase and Greg Williams? Okay, like, it was simple. It was so clear that Gase had no clue what was happening on the defensive side of the football, and we just needed to bring in a guy to run that side completely. Just handle it. You do your thing. So that's always a concern with Brian Daboll. It's always good to have a fantastic staff, guys that know what they're doing, but we don't want to be in a situation just look back to the Todd Bowles era. Defensive-minded guy. Always had a great defensive coordinator. Same thing with Rex Ryan. So many good guys like Casey Rogers, Mike Pettin. We had a lot of defensive guys, really good defensive coaches throughout the course of 09 up until 2017, 2018. But the offense always struggled. It always struggled because Rex just had no input. He couldn't develop a quarterback. Neither could, Todd Bowles. These guys couldn't fix the offensive side of the football. I don't want to be in a situation, if Brian Daboll walks in the building, where the defense all of a sudden is bottom 3 in every category and we cannot get the thing turned around. Because remember, that defense, yeah, it's looked really good under, these guys with Todd, the late stages of Todd Bowles and then Greg Williams, of course. But this defense is extremely young. They're going to need some development too. We can't just completely ignore one side of the football. So that's just one concern. Concern number 2, play calling at times can be a little bit suspect. Okay, sometimes, to me, it almost looks like Buffalo is using half of a game to practice. In both of those games against the New York Jets and the game against the Seattle Seahawks, which they went out and beat, they shocked Pete Carroll and whatnot, beating them in Buffalo. And Pete Carroll was vocal about that after the game. But sometimes it just looks like Brian Daboll, Josh Allen, this offense, it really gets pass happy. I feel like they throw it way more than they run it, and you never really want to be too one-dimensional. Okay, and yeah, you can say, well, look, Buffalo's incredible. They're winning a bunch of games and this and that. They're doing their thing. It's working for the Bills. But my concern is this: when Daboll is head coach of the New York Jets, when literally every player on the offense is worse than the Bills, What's going to happen? What's going to happen if we can't get in rhythm? What's going to happen if a rookie quarterback is missing a throw? What's going to happen if we throw a pick? What's going to happen when things go awry? Are we going to stick to our guns and continue just to slam our head against the wall like we've seen Adam Gase do in the past? Or are we going to switch it up and kind of adjust? So I haven't really seen that adjustment from Daboll because everything is just, it works so well with the Bills right now. I feel like everything that they do, everything that Daboll touches just turns to gold. It's fascinating to watch, but at the same time, so that would be a small concern of mine moving forward. But look, all in all, if I'm looking at Brian Daboll's potential fit with the New York Jets as head coach moving forward, I got to be honest, I would love it. I think he would be a great fit. I mean, of course, you're taking a look at the young guys on the roster and the potential for those guys, for their talents to be maximized. For Daboll just to have success with guys in the free agent class, in the first round, the second round, the third round, the fourth round, all these different guys contribute. Everybody knows their role. Nobody ruffles any feathers. I mean, I remember back when the Bills went out and they traded for Stephon Diggs. Everybody like threw a fit and they're like, what? They're getting a diva wide receiver. Stephon Diggs is playing better than ever. Okay, him and Josh Allen are like best friends. It's incredible. Okay, so you're taking a look at that. You're looking at the overall play design, how he approaches the game planning. He's worked. I mean, he's been around so many different successful head coaches: John McDermott, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. He knows what winning football looks like. He's a multiple-time Super Bowl champion. There's so much to like about him. He's worked with so many different positions on the offense, right? Different skill positions like tight end, quarterback. So he really has a good understanding of every single positional group on the offensive side of the football. And I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say those words because we've heard Chris Johnson say them too many times before. But I'll leave you guys with the initials. Okay, from the outside looking in, Brian Daboll looks like a true BOM. All right, so I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.